The following is a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.
We are back. New York City baseball, past, present, and future. I'm Ralph Tyko of the Comfortably Zoned Radio Network, and we've got the Mets guys with us tonight. Robert Cole is here, and Marty Rose. Start with you, Robert. How are you?
Doing good, Ralph. How are you,
good.
Marty?
And Marty, all well in your
Doing fine. Doing fine, thank you.
Good. Let's talk a little Mets. It's been about a week and a half since the season has ended. It gives us a chance to look back with some objectivity, if you will, the shock of an incredibly horrible season. But not all that when you consider that we developed a shortstop double play combination, all those things. But what's really important, and not just to the show, but to the Mets, is finally deciding on who's going to run their show. And there are several candidates out there. Choosing them has been a problem for a number of reasons. One, the Mets don't appear to be willing to spend money. Two, they have a disagreement between the owner and his son of what they should be looking for in terms of a general manager. Should it be one who is a traditionalist, if you will, or should it be someone who's into the new age analytics of the game? Are they getting along better and agreeing on their needs? I'll start with you, Marty Rose.
Well, it seems like they're at odds with each other, and you know the latest thing that I've heard is that they still want to keep that three-headed monster around as well. So, you know, those guys that have been there, you know, the second half of the year that took over
right.
when Alderson stepped down, I think they are hesitant to assign all the duties to one guy. I think they want to spread it around a little bit, and that could be one of the reasons why people are turning them down for interviews, where, you know, in every other organization you got one guy that's in charge, and it sounds like the Mets want to go in a different direction, which is turning some people off.
Well, they will continue to be a three-headed monster, or they will be subordinates to the general manager that makes the ultimate decision, or is there an ultimate decision-making individual with their plans?
Yeah, well, there has to be. There has to be one person that makes the final decision, but unfortunately, it seems like that person is Jeff Wilpon. You know, unfortunately.
Wow. You know, we've taken them through an awful lot over the years and stuck with them. This is craziness. Absolutely. Robert, your take. Robert.
Well, what Marty's saying is true. It's supposedly that Jeff Wilpon has said that whoever they pick, he's going to suggest to them that they hold on to Minaya and the other two, that he's going to suggest that. It's also being said that Jeff is going to have the final decision, and what he really is looking for is someone to handle scouting and the minor league system, and that he himself would make the final decisions, which is, you know, you're going to turn a lot of guys off, and why a lot of guys are, you know, turning the job down, such as Ben Sherrington, Thad Levine, and currently Mike Chernoff. Now, Mike Chernoff is interesting because he apparently said he was going to interview with the Mets, and then the Indians said, well, we'll give you a better contract. So he may have been playing the Mets just to get a better contract. Right now, the latest entry is Dave Littlefield, the Vice President of Player Development with the Tigers. He is interviewed for the position, along with Brewers Senior Advisor Doug Melvin, Cardinals Director of Player Development Gary LaRocque, MLB Executive Kim Ning, I think she says, National Special Assistant Dejan Watson, and Ray's Senior Vice President of Baseball Operations, Chaim Bloom.
Now there's a man I want to talk about for a second because you're a Rays fan, and you and I talked to Peter Golenbach recently, Robert, and he's very high on that gentleman. And they are such an innovative organization that I don't know if the Mets are ready for a man who's thinking 2 years ahead of the game. What are your thoughts on him?
Okay, Chaim Bloom would probably be the perfect candidate right now. Okay, number one, he's in a system with the Rays where there's no real general manager. There's a group of guys that get together. They operate more like a Wall Street operation than a baseball operation. He is in charge of the farm system. He is in charge of scouting. He makes final decisions on that end. He would probably fit most seamlessly into what the Mets are looking to do, with the one exception is that he's a big analytics guy. And Fred Flintstone Wilpon is absolutely against analytics.
But isn't it his son that's going to be running things?
Yes, but Fred Flintstone Wilpon is, from what I understand, going to sit in on the final round and actually have an input in the final decision.
Oh.
And as I think I said to you guys, I may or may not have, I think I said it when we were on with Peter, that Fred Wilpon, it's been said that if he had to sit in a meeting with an analytics guy, he would blow his brains out.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that I'd gladly buy the ammunition.
And I would get the gun.
Okay, we got a combo here. Mert, set it up.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, no, it's
yes, you're absolutely right about Chaim Bloom. He is perfect. He could probably fit in and work within the system that the Mets are apparently trying to put together. But like I say, I don't know if Fred Flintstone would go for that.
Yeah. Okay, so it remains in disarray. Did they not promise a decision before the end of the year?
They have to have a decision, really, theoretically, by the time the World Series is over. Because once the World Series is over, you have free agency, you have to tender contracts, okay? You have to get ready for the early GM meeting, and then you have to be ready for the big meetings that they have, right around December. I mean,
right.
Time's running out. You're already almost in November. If they don't have that decision by the time the World Series is over, they're in big trouble.
Wow.
True.
Not very encouraging to Met fans out there, but what can I say? What can I say? If you had to pick one of the three, could they end up doing that? One of the three existing three-pronged guys that they have running things? Do you think Omar would be qualified in today's day and age to assume it all?
I don't think he wants the job, Ralph. I don't think he wants the job. I think he'd be much better at the scouting part, which is what he's doing now. That's his thing.
The international scouting and what have you.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
For sure.
That is very important, especially to the Mets, because you can get talented, in the Dominican and the other Latin American countries cheaper than you can through the traditional draft. And you can also sign them at a younger age. So that's a very important position in reality.
You know something? I was just thinking, Fred Flintstone's biases towards analytics and what have you notwithstanding, I think if you put a guy like Chaim in a meeting with him in a congenial setting, he'd charm him. He'd say, look what we've done in Tampa with some forward thinking that was absolutely against the traditional baseball way of doing things. And what you have going up in New York is simply not working. Boom. Enough said.
The other thing too, Ralph, is
he would charm this guy. He would charm him. If he was smart enough to put this together, he's smart enough to be able to sit in a room with Fred, who is so antiquated and so cheap it's sickening. He can show him, look what we've done down there without much of a payroll. And I think all you got to do is put them in a room, and I think it would be a good fit because you have the kid to offset, although the kid's no great brain train from what I understand.
Oh, Jeff the Genius? Yeah.
Yeah. But I think, like with anything else, sitting down and talking and negotiating, I think that helps. Unless you're going into the Saudis for a negotiation, and you see this this big old cheese grater on the wall, and it's life size, and you say, "What the hell is that?" And but never mind. He's not going into the Saudis. He's going into the Will Ponzi's for negotiation.
Well, and
you might say,
in reality,
cheese grater. You might say, give me the cheese grater, but I don't know.
Hey,
in reality,
one thing you got to say, Ralph.
Love Time Bloom, because look, he's doing it on a shoestring budget. I mean,
right.
That's right up Fred's alley.
Exactly.
Sure is, yeah. Definitely.
And if it ain't broken, don't fix it, but it's broken. That kind of thing. And really, not that they even know why it's broken. So bring somebody in with a history of some success who, like you said, Robert, he'd fit right into the system based on it's the way Tampa is running things.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm excited about that idea. Let's send this tape to all these people. Send them an MP3 of the show.
You get your bullets together, and I'll bring the gun, and we'll see what we can do.
I think we'd be better off with the ammo than we would by just sending it to them with a suggestion, because they don't seem like the people that are open to suggestions and to other opinions. Just a guess. Well, and you know what? You guys live in Florida, so getting the ammo and getting it, you could do that. You could be criminally insane and still get it done. So,
oh yeah,
it's
I
no
could go
big
out
challenge.
20 minutes and come back with weapons and ammo. No sweat.
Absolutely. And the mere fact that we've all been Mets fans since the beginning, I mean, that makes us insane.
Absolutely. I'm not even, and it would be a great defense in any court of law.
Absolutely.
You got me. Don't shoot. You got me. Here. These are bad people. I'm making the world better. Baseball is our thing, and we just did it, and blah, blah, blah. We're silly. We're not planning that at all.
No. Well, I got one good thing to say, Ralph. You know,
okay.
we've got 5 healthy starters all coming back and signed for next year, and a decent 6th starter.
And a double play combination.
We are ahead
in catching.
Game.
And maybe a center fielder, Lagares, who could go get the ball at least for the first 20 minutes of the season, and before that hammy goes bad. But you know what I'm saying.
We're in better shape. We're in better shape than the Yankees are. You know, I was looking over the Yankees players, and like out of the 5 starters that they had at the end of the year, 3 of them are free agents. You know, Happ, Lynn, and Sabathia are all free agents. They want to get rid of Sonny Gray, so basically they got Severino and Tanaka, and that's it. So they got work to do. They got a lot of work to do. Jeez.
What about Sabathia? Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent, yeah. And
would he come back for a sweetheart deal for a one-year contract?
He would. But do they want him back? And if they do want him back, I mean, I don't think he's much better than a 5th starter at this point, you know?
I would venture to say all the time we've been following baseball, guys, and it's been more years, combined 200-some-odd years of following this shit. There has never been a 5-man pitching staff. There weren't 5-man pitching staffs back then, but you could take it a step further. 4-man pitching staff of the likes of what these guys going. Of course, injuries notwithstanding, you know. But they really do have something going. And what I was also very enthused about, I looked at Conforto's power stats down the road, and Bruce started coming back. Nice stuff. You got Alonso coming up.
Who is tearing it up, by the way, in the Arizona Fall League.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that, Marty.
Tearing it up, yes.
Good.
Big time. And they say that his defense has improved. That's coming from one of those 3-headed guys who's saying his defense has improved, which means that there's a chance that he could get a real shot, because that was the only thing holding him back, was that they were saying his defense wasn't good enough.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So that's very, very encouraging.
Oh yeah, definitely, big time.
And I'm going to ask the magic question about, has Cespedes been operated on for the second time, the second heel?
I have not heard whether it has.
No, I thought I saw that it was, but I couldn't say 100%. So,
okay.
Yeah, but even if whatever, you're not going to see him until August, after the All-Star break at best, if at all.
Best, yeah.
I wouldn't even count on him, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't count on him at all.
No.
But you'd like to see him at least starting the process of, which is going to be a long rehabilitation anyway. You want to see that he responded well to the first one, so they do the second one. Yeah. So Conforto comes on. Nemo is a breath of fresh air wherever he is. McNeil at second base, my God, who had
that was a big surprise.
Yeah, early Christmas present, for sure. And Pilecki impressed me at the end too, at least statistically. And I don't know if Darno is healthy coming back. I don't know what his contract status is, his contractual status.
Well, I think I've seen enough of him, I'll be honest with you, because he can't throw anybody out, and he gets hurt every year. So what's the point? I mean, how much better a hitter is he than the other guys? Not that much. His defense is worse. And he's hurt every year. So
is Nito in the instructional league as well?
No, I do not believe so.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe he's playing in one of the Caribbean leagues.
Oh, he might be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know about that.
What else can I ask you guys? I think we really covered it succinctly and quickly. You showed me some optimism, Mert, and
sure.
I'm glad I was thinking along the same lines as you were with this with Chaim, Robert, because you guys are terrific analysts. Let me tell you that. We've put together something here that we're informative, we're objective, and sometimes we have our biases, which is good, and we don't hide them, but we're not walking around with our head in the sky saying, "Well, wait till next year, everything will be fine." Right. So
we could talk about the Yankees a little bit, since those
absolutely.
Yankee guys haven't joined us, but I mean, they got
like
some.
Like you said, Marty, they have a lot of questions to answer.
They really do. Yeah.
I mean, D.D. Gregorius is going to be out for a good part of the season, and he's having Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
And that's like anything else. Will his arm ever be as strong as it was?
And then you got to believe that Manny Machado's agent is salivating, knowing that the Yankees need a shortstop.
Now that's a great question. Has he shown that he's a punk?
I think so. I don't like him. I just don't like him.
Me neither.
From what I'm seeing, if they got to spend big money, I would go after. The guy from Washington.
Bryce Harper. Yeah, Bryce Harper.
Because they need left-handed power. They're too right-handed. Gardner's a free agent. McCutcheon's a free agent. They could use another outfielder. And I don't think it's necessary for Machado, because all they have to do is move Torres over from second to short.
Gilbert, yeah.
And sign a second baseman. Either they could sign Walker to come back, or Daniel Murphy, hello, who could also play first.
And also DH at times.
Exactly.
But they also have the guy from the Rays that they picked up, Hechavarria, who's an excellent fielding shortstop.
Okay.
And he actually filled in for Gregorius when he was injured towards the end of the year. So, I mean, he would fit right in as a defensive shortstop, and he can hit a little bit with a little pop. I'm not sure that they want to put Gleyber Torres back at shortstop. I think they're happy with him at second base, and I don't think they want to make that move. So we'll have to see. And then they also have the question at first base. Greg Bird basically disappeared near the end. They didn't play him at all when they picked up that guy from the Cardinals.
Yeah, this guy Voigt just won the job outright.
Yeah,
he did. So.
And then you have the question of Sanchez, the catcher, or he tries to be a catcher at least anyway. But
he really is not very good defensively.
No.
Add that to the lack of hustle and the lack of enthusiasm. But he's hard to give up on, a catcher who has the potential of hitting 40 home runs. That doesn't come along.
They won't give up on him. No way.
They'd actually be better off putting him at first base. I mean, he has played first base. You move him to first base, you give up on Bird.
You make room for Romine, but then again, this guy Luke, who comes from St. Louis, I think it was St. Louis, right?
Yes.
Tore it up as well.
He did.
But that's a very small sample size. I mean, we've seen that before. A guy comes to a new league for a month and tears it up. So, we'll have to see.
Guy with reminds me of the guy with the Dodgers, Muncy or...
Max Muncy?
Yeah, Max Muncy. Same kind of thing. Guy comes out of nowhere and really helps you. So
this guy Voigt only had 143 at bats, but did it 15 homers and 143 at bats. So,
yeah.
He
came
was
right like gangbusters.
He did. And,
so
he's young. He's 27.
Okay, guys. Good show as usual. Thank you very, very much. We'll do it once every 2 weeks, and
maybe we'll have a GM by then. Who knows?
Marty, we better have a GM by then.
I hope so.
Yeah. Thank you for expressing the urgency so well, Robert. That made me quiver a little bit because you fall behind in the off season and you never catch up during the year. It's like throwing a year away. So,
Oh yeah, I mean, teams are already gearing up. I don't know what the Mets are doing. I mean, you're already gearing up. You're already making your list of possible free agents. And the other thing, real quick, that some of the candidates are concerned about is what kind of a payroll are they going to have? What are they going to be allowed to use? And that hasn't been discussed. I mean, are they going to be, Rays and A's kind of payroll? Is it going to be, a Cardinals, Phillies kind of payroll? So that has to be discussed, too, and you can't do that until you have somebody.
was there ever talk about Billy Beane coming over to the Mets?
I heard some of that kind of talk, but I don't think it was ever really realistic.
Okay.
No, I don't think so either.
And we talked about the lack of probability that Machado would go to the Yankees. Any chance that the Mets would ever sign him? Certainly not as a shortstop, given what Rosario proved.
Not for the kind of money he's going to demand. There's no way, and you know it. No.
Okay.
Plus, he's insisting that he's going to be a shortstop. So
he's a damn good ball player. I will say that. But I will always have that vision of him taking the inside of the base and stepping on that freaking guy's Achilles tendon, what could have been his Achilles tendon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
saying he doesn't hustle. He's saying it's not in my character to hustle. In a playoff game? What is the matter with this guy? Plus, he's got a bad haircut. How about that?
Well, that alone may not allow him to
There
go.
There you go.
All right. The final decision has been made.
There you go.
Haircut. I see it on the back of the post, right? Machado sues Barber. You could have.
Hey, it's still fun and games, guys.
I could have been a contender, but for the haircut.
That's right.
All right. Thanks again, guys. We'll do it
couple of weeks.
2 weeks from this week. How about that?
Sounds
good. All right. Have a good one.
Be healthy, both of you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Comfortably Zoned Radio Network. Tonight it was New York Mets baseball. New York City. Well, if we had the Yankees guys, we would have called it that. But New York Mets baseball. We talked a little Yankees, but that's all. Thanks for listening. Adios, everybody. This has been a Comfortably Zoned Radio Network production.